Why do you expect me to do that?
I don't know. You think this sounds like Mr. Noodles or something?
Oh, so you get the golden stuff.
Exactly. I get the Subway. You get Mr. Noodles. I don't know. It seems fair.
It's nice when you're sick, Mr. Noodle.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, but when I was sick with that flu, it's so hard to eat.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
But I had bananas and stuff. They said it's really good for the upset stomach.
Oh, yeah?
And I had a dry piece of toast
Yeah, that's
because it absorbs the acid in your stomach, I guess.
Yeah, that's about it. Alright.
So you get to have Subway and I get to eat Mr. Noodle.
Yeah, that sounds about fair to me. Yep.
If I got to go home with you, we'd be fighting over what to have for supper. Supper.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed at nights now?
Oh, I would say probably sleeping by midnight, hopefully.
But on a late night, you have no choice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, remember when I came on with you on that 14?
Yeah.
That was, you took the bus back to the garage,
Yeah, I
right?
think it was like 1:30 or something.
Due back at VP.
Yeah. But you know what? This sign up, my latest night is like 8:30.
That's nice.
It's really good, yeah. Last sign up, I was all over. I was like 8 o'clock, midnight. 8:30, 1:30, and it was really bad.
Oh, Stacy, I don't know if I told you this year in April, I stayed up for 22 hours straight.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Were you doing your work or what were you doing?
Yeah, I went to Edmonton that day. I woke up at 8:15 on Wednesday morning and went to bed at 6:15 Thursday morning.
Oh my goodness. How did you feel? Like, did you feel like a little bit like wonky or how were you?
The next day I was pretty tired.
Yeah. I bet, yeah.
Just kind of, I was feeding off adrenaline,
Oh,
so.
yeah.
And then that day I was tired. And then that day I was in Edmonton. That's when they started dispatching the old U2 cars on the same day here.
So they had to wait for you to get out of town before they could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
But then that same week on the Friday, they had the same set out, so I was able to go and capture.
Oh, I got you. That's good. And what were you doing in Edmonton?
That was my first time on the old C-Train cars there.
Really?
But they're,
Did you go downtown, like into the downtown part?
yeah, but I mean, it doesn't go through downtown like ours because there's a lot of underground.
Yeah, it's all underground, yeah. Yeah. So what did you think? Were you like, yeah, this is cool, or?
Yeah, and like their old trains are Siemens U2s like ours, but they're so much better taken care of because they're refurbished, right? And every unit has at least one ramp door.
Oh, really? That's kind of cool.
At this point, our old cars are on borrowed time.
Yeah, for sure.
But what you gonna do if they get rid of them still? They're not gonna have enough extras for rush hour.
Yeah. And where do you think they go when they get rid of them? Like, do they sell them to another city, or do they just...
They take them over to the scrapyard. They literally get crushed to pieces. But they smash out all the good parts, so this is what they did in the retirement process when they started it. They smashed out good parts so they could keep the U2s running, whatever is still functional. Then they've been doing that ever since. Imagine if they kept them going for 30 more years, they wouldn't make it. They would have to be redone and everything. I'm pissed off that Edmonton refurbished theirs, but ours just leave out to rot. Well, it's Calgary Transit, another stupid decision.
Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like Edmonton just got the blue bin and black bin, you know, like the automatic thing that we had for how many years, right?
Right.
So there are certain things that we're ahead on, and yet they've got their new arena. It's been there for what, 5 years? I don't know, maybe longer. You know,
Like Edmonton seems to be taking, you know, when they put a plan in place, it's done. It's, you know.
and we kind of like fight about it, and then we approve it, and then somebody doesn't like it, and we gotta fight about it more.
Government bullshit too.
Totally, yeah.
I just feel like I got on with you, but it's been over 2 hours.
Yeah.
We've still got half an hour until we're back to Heritage.
Yeah, we got a bit of a ways to go.
When you're on Crow Trail, it kind of reminds me of the express routes.
Oh yeah, kind of, eh? Yeah, we just kind of go.
We didn't see those fire trucks yet anymore.
Yeah, I think they were gone. Yeah, they were gone.
There was some issue though if 2 got dispatched.
Yep, something. And we'll see if all these cars got cleaned up there.
They would have by now, gee.
You would think that snow truck was there.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that the city didn't modernize their old fleet.
Yeah. Well, you know, Calgary, they like their new shiny things.
But I mean, you know what? The U2s have been going forever. Would it really be worth it, right?
That's true, yeah.
If I was running it, I would make a push for that. Just because they can get 60 years out of them alone if they refurb them 20, 30 more years.
Okay, looks like they got it all cleaned up.
Was it backed up here too, this other way?
Right here where the accident was. All good now.
One more trip after this. It's nice that you finish at Heritage though.
Yeah, that's good.
So where do you go to get your car? Your car's at Heritage, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of shitty when you start from VP though.
Yeah, you just have to get on the train and, come back down.
Or the 10, but I don't even know if that goes close to there.
No, not really. I mean, you can walk over to, like, the Cloud Trail, but...
So you have to, you have to take the train from Heritage to VP if your car's there.
Yeah.
And late night it's good though, because you just take a bus back to the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
When you finished 14, didn't you get the Bridlewood twice? The last 2 trips?
Yeah.
Or Bridlewood,
Yeah.
some.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
The last one goes out of service at Cranston at 12:37, I think.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember the first time I did that, I just went over to the Cranston spot, and then the other driver's like honking at me, and I'm like, what? He's like, you're not doing this, you're doing the Bridlewood sign again. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Did he just give you direction? Was he nice about
Oh,
it?
yeah, he was nice, but I'm like, I don't know, I didn't really.
And then he probably said to you, oh, I know sometimes it's confusing.
Exactly, yeah.
He must have been the last Cranston bus
Yeah,
then.
but he was trying to pull in there, and I was already there. He came over. He's like, nope, you're not there. Oh, okay.
Extra Bridlewood trip.
Yeah.
A lot of the extra trains they would start taking out of service now.
Oh, yeah.
But if everyone was working, they would still have to be out.
Yeah, for sure.
I like this part of Max Yellow. You do some of it.
Yeah.
And the Max Yellow goes to one of the nicest areas of the city, Woodbine,
It's very nice.
Woodbine Park.
Yeah. Can you tell we're in third gear?
Yes. Is that what you did with 7841 on Monday?
Yep, that's what I did.
That must have been a little painful.
Oh, yeah.
You think since the motor got hot you would get heat from the heater, but that didn't even work.
No.
I enjoyed them toffees so much.
Yeah.
You gotta get them out of the box though, be careful.
Oh, I know.
Like you gotta bend your finger to get it out.
Yeah, get right in there.
And I dropped 2 of them.
Oh, no.
You would have been mad at me.
You can drop those for breakfast.
You have 2 more days on this route then.
Yeah.
You don't do the weekend stuff, eh?
No weekend.
You used to do weekend work a little bit, right?
Well, yeah, like when I first started, I didn't have a choice.
I heard VP used to be the 24-hour garage.
Yeah, it's so weird that it isn't.
I wonder why they switched it though.
Well, they needed to for the shuttles.
Yeah. Because if VP's the 24-hour garage, like it used to be, you only get big buses coming out of there.
Yeah, like they built all of the gas pumps at Spring because they're all gas buses, right?
Yeah.
So
And then they have their diesel ones too.
But for the shuttles, yeah, so they have to, that's where, like, back when they were diesel, they were all kept at BP.
Like the 1700s and that.
Yeah, exactly. Even the, well, we used to have 1800s. So press liners. So that was all moved to the
Remember the Arbuck hybrids we used to have? They were, but there was only 4 Arbuck hybrids. There was 1754 through 58 were hybrids. Wouldn't them 1700s would be tired now if they kept them around. And if we still bought diesel shuttles, VP would only be the one open. And buses like this would go out and do a 302 and routes that still needed big buses. And I'm guessing even though if the buses were out of VP, them shuttles that would come out of VP like they used to would do routes like the 12 on the weekend and the 78 and stuff. I don't know why VP could just build gas pumps themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't really have the room. Like, there's not a very big, there's not a lot of land there, you know?
It's not a very big garage either.
Yeah.
Like I hear at the most you can get 150 D40LF buses in there.
Right.
And they have Arctics up there too, so they take space.
Yeah.
They take up to like 2 bus lanes in the garage.
Well, and then at Spring, they also made the garage, like, bigger, like, they extended it in a bunch of places.
Yeah. So that's why they are moving Anderson buses up to there.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Stony, there's like a whole section that's just empty.
I would see some Anderson buses going up to Stony in the future.
Yeah, it's probably gonna happen, yeah.
Yeah, the scheduling is not showing you due, so we must have a minute.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes.
Well, we're gonna meet the till then.
Oh yeah, I guess 3 minutes, I guess.
It was so nice to see you today.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm glad we made it out.
Because you said you were thinking of me the other day. I'm like, I wonder what Ethan's up to. Haven't heard from him or... I think up until a few days ago, the last email I sent you was in January
Oh man,
this year.
that's crazy.
But I was all over the city doing routes, so... Have you ever had to do routes out of the Northeast too, eh?
Yeah, I did it when I first started. I did quite a bit out of there.
Yeah,
I try not to.
not the greatest of all places.
Not the best, no.
I try to keep my south and northwest.
Yeah, yeah. The west side is pretty good too, though. Like on 69th Street.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna be doing a 93 one of these weeks. Out of,
Just keep me updated. I'll message you on the weekends week to week, and you can kind of give me the rundown or whatever. So you think you're doing the 40, but it's not a sure thing.
I'm like 70% sure.
Remember that one time you were supposed to do 149? Well, you weren't supposed to.
Right.
You just thought you did, but I thought they have shuttle on there in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
How can you start at 12:30 when it's shuttle on there?
And then what did it turn out that I was doing? The 126 or something?
Oh, that's a nice route.
Yeah, I can't remember what I actually. What did I do? Do you remember? I can't remember what I ended up doing. But yeah.
But it might have been 126 at the Bray side.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Now that's a nice route.
Yeah. But I am doing that 146 as well, but I can't remember when.
146?
Wait, is it the one? I don't know. The one that I thought I was doing. I'm doing that one.
149.
149, yeah. See, I don't know. I just write it down.
There's the tail.
There he is. I just write it down and then I kind of forget about it until I need to look at it.
That's why it's just easier to email you, right?
Exactly.
You don't check your...
I don't know. You know, like whatever. I'm doing something.
You're getting work.
It's work, yeah. I don't want to worry about what it is until I have to.
As long as it's not the northeast.
Yeah.
Have you done any northeast routes recently?
No, not at all.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, I did that Max Orange, if you want to count that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not in the northeast. You're only in there for like half an hour at a time.
Yeah.
Like,
And then I go on during the 23 as well for 2 weeks in a row.
okay.
So that'll be fun. It'll be fine though. I don't mind that 23. They built a bus lane for it apparently.
Arctic on, you know, the 23, you're getting an Arctic.
It's an Arctic, yeah. So hopefully we don't get a big snowstorm.
Oh, God.
That'll be not great. Although really, you're just basically going straight. And you're not really going up any hills.
But I mean, if the C train stations are a mess and the roads are there,
Yeah,
but it's more mainstream.
exactly.
It's just getting out of the Saddletown bus lane. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be fine.
Maybe when you're doing that in the future, I'll meet you at Mackenzie Town
Oh yeah, that would work.
and hop on your bus there. That won't be for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's in March or something.
Also, just before sign up then.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's like the last couple weeks or the last something. I don't know. The first 3 weeks of March. I don't know.
You're doing something.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe I'll hop on you that day because you never taken me on an Arctic before.
That's right. Yeah.
You'll most likely get an XD60.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's a Stony bus.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And a lot of the D60 LFRs are out of VP. It gets a little more slippy as the sun goes down. Oh, what is going on today? Another fire thing. This bus runs so nice. There's no hesitation at all on takeoff. You know when you have the 77, you had a little fun with it? When we would go on one more trail, you would give it extra speed. Maybe you had your chocolate energy thing. You like your soda too?
I like a diet ginger ale.
Diet?
Well, yeah, I'll have one right when I finish work. Just drink the whole thing all at once.
How big is it?
Just a can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought you meant a liter. I'm like, oh.
No.
Oh, speaking of soda, I got a soda stream.
Oh, you did?
For Christmas.
So what flavors did you get?
I only got the one for now, but I got the syrup to make Pepsi.
To make Pepsi, okay. And how is it? Like, is it the same?
We haven't tried it yet.
You have it?
But it's probably a healthier way than doing the pop that you buy a little bit.
Yeah? Why? Like,
One day I'm gonna buy concentrated orange juice and carbonate orange juice.
that sounds good, yeah.
I bet you could do that, right?
Maybe. I don't really know much about them, but that sounds good.
Because what my grandma told me, if you don't buy concentrated, then you make it with the soda stream, then it's tasteless.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah.
Make a carbonated orange juice beverage, that'd be good.
That would be good.
Soda streams apparently the big thing now.
Yeah, they are kind of a big thing. Well, you'll have to tell me how it is.
Man, I'm almost done the trip with you. Holy cow.
Yeah.
You made up your time. We left about 4 minutes late.
Yeah, we're good now. We're actually running a 20 minute early.
Good bus too though, right? I imagine you had a bus that barely takes off before.
Oh, yeah.
Thing with 7841, it has good pulling power. It's just you have trouble with the brakes and everything.
Yeah.
What if I gave you that bus tomorrow on purpose?
Well, tomorrow's not going to be as cold, so it might not be too bad.
I can phone transit and say, hey, can you give Stacy this bus?
I don't think so. You wouldn't do that to me.
No, I'm just teasing, bro.
You know, next time I see you, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. You're banned from this bus.
No bus ride.
No bus ride. You'll have to catch the next one.
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Or imagine if I gave you a 7500 even though.
That might be okay, though.
Oh, they were pretty junky, a lot of them.
Well, I don't know. What if you give me that old Jimmy?
Oh, that would actually be fun.
That would be fun.
1046.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I never got to film a Jimmy, unfortunately.
Oh.
But if that Jimmy comes up for a charter next year,
Yeah.
then maybe I might go.
Well, yeah, keep an eye out. Yeah.
That's the emergency then, I guess.
Yeah. I don't get busy in there.
There's enough people in there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
Hospitals never sleep, though.
That's right, yeah. Always something going on.
Sorry I didn't come out on Monday. You had that bad bus, so it worked out. I'm like, I texted you on Sunday. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it. I checked the temperature, like minus 29.
Oh, man. Yeah.
It's not much better today, but at least you got a good bus.
Yeah, exactly. So much better. And it feels like it was sunny. Like, when the sun was out, it was pretty, like, it helped.
You know what's the kicker of it all? George took me on 7841 and he said, this bus is beautiful.
Really? Oh.
The heater was working and everything.
Oh.
But you know, things go down and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
He said he loved that bus.
Yeah. Like minus 29 compared to like minus 15. You know, like maybe
There's a
it's-
big
Yeah,
difference.
maybe it's better at minus 15. Like you don't even notice it.
The heater was a little funky there for a little while.
Yeah.
It's working good now.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, okay, that's good.
Did you ever have a bus that would stop really rough and the transmission would jerk, like you could feel it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep. Yep.
The mechanics do a good job, and every single hour they have their hands full.
Yeah, definitely.
Like this bus probably gets checked every day.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're on like a maintenance schedule. And then if
They have a log that keeps track of every bus.
And then drivers will look at for certain things.
Like before they take over the bus, antifreeze leak.
Yeah, totally.
You don't have time to check anything though.
Not really. Like you can look pretty quickly, but
Like I checked your schedule, you relieve him at 12:26 and have 3 minutes.
yeah. Well,
Then you're due out at Heritage.
there's no time at Heritage at all. Like it's really in and out.
But I mean, you know, if you want to check for the antifreeze leak or any leaks,
Yeah.
there's no time.
No, not really.
You just kind of go in the back of the bus, look at everything,
Yeah.
get back in your seat and go.
Yeah. Yeah, but then the first chance is up at the university.
And sometimes the driver forgets to tell you if there's something wrong.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, yeah, by the way, you forgot to tell me my interlock doesn't work.
Or the back door won't open.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm on a roller coaster going down this hill.
I know, it's kind of like crazy that they built this hospital
On the
top of a hill
like I could really feel you going down.
Yeah.
Like it's that split second moment before you go down on the roller coaster. I can't do the spinny rides though.
No, I don't like them either.
I get nauseated and I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
See, I liked it when I was little, when I was a kid, but now I don't like that anymore.
Oh, I went and filmed the Heritage Park steam train this
Oh,
summer.
that's cool. That's a good one.
I filmed my entire trip there, so
That's awesome.
people will be happy to see it today.
Yeah.
They've been asking for certain drivers. I'm like, well, no, I haven't seen them around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're all kind of scattered.
But it's good I have that email, right? You know, like